Hey y'all, it's X, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm back with a 2-round mock draft. This is our end of the season mock draft. Sorry for the lack of uploads. I posted this in the community tab not too long ago. I've been sick for a week. I had this 2-round mock draft recorded like 8 years ago, and it just became outdated because the draft orders changed. I also didn't really love how it came out, but we're back now. We're doing 2 rounds. The way that I did that first 2-round mock draft was I did it more based off of what I want teams to do rather than what I think will happen. I'm going to scratch that idea for this one. I think we're kind of too deep in the season to really be doing that. So I think we're just going to go with what I think will happen. So, Giants currently have the number 1 overall pick. We're obviously going to take a quarterback. The question is that going to be Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward? I think Cam Ward is the higher upside, but a lot of the signs are currently showing that, Shedeur might actually want to be in New York. However, he is very close to Tom Brady. I feel like the Raiders would probably get Shedeur. So I am going to go Cam Ward at number 1. Do I think he's the best quarterback in the class now? No. But do I think he has the highest upside? Maybe not the highest upside in the class, but highest upside in a quarterback who could actually play right now. So yeah, we're going to go with Cam Ward at 1. And for the reasons I just said before, we are going to go with Shedeur Sanders at number 2 of the Raiders. Just a great fit. All the signs are really show. He had dinner with Antonio Pierce, I saw. All the signs do show that he will end up being a Raider. Patriots at number 3. There's a lot that you could do with them. They really need tackle. I don't think you're going to take a tackle at 3. It would be between wide receiver and corner. I think pairing Travis Hunter with Christian Gonzalez, as well as giving Drake May another weapon, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Even if he's not going to play offense full time, those reps that he does play are going to be very valuable. So we'll take him at 3. Jaguars at 4 here. This is difficult because Travis Hunter is usually my pick here. But it's not going to be too hard. We are going to go with Will Johnson here. They do need corner as well. For the same reasons that we would take Travis Hunter, we're going to take Will Johnson. Great boundary corner. Was banged up this year, but he is still my corner 1 in this class. And yeah, he is simply just an incredible player. Panthers at 5. So I've actually seen a lot of Mason Graham hype because, having Derek Brown on this team would probably put Mason Graham in a very ideal situation to succeed. But I am higher on them going edge. I just think that they have nobody there, and I think that I know I understand the edge class in day 2 is actually pretty solid. So maybe I am gonna mix it up today. We're gonna go with Mason Graham. I've seen it a lot recently with a lot of people, and I think because we're doing a 2-round mock draft, this does give us leeway to go edge in round 2, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. Titans at number 6. I think this is the Tedero McMillan spot for me. I just think that getting more weapons for Will Levis, who I don't think you're going to look to replace in the first round. He has played okay this season, where I would be okay with giving him 1 more year to see, okay, can you maybe take that leap into being a top half of the league quarterback, top 15? I don't know. I don't know if he gets there. I've never really had that much faith in him, but who knows? We'll see. Browns at number 7. I think this is probably Ashton Jeanty. But we could look to go elsewhere today. We could look to experiment with what does his stock look like if he falls? Where could he end up? The easy answer would be Dallas at 14. So maybe that's what ends up happening. Pick 7 here though. This is interesting. You know what? I think I am going to keep Ashton Jeanty because I am going to do something pretty interesting for the Cowboys. But yeah, Ashton Jeanty's the easy pick. Nick Chubb is up for a contract. Pair him with Jerome Ford, who doesn't stop you from drafting a talent like Ashton Jeanty. So yeah, revitalize that rushing offense that used to be so elite back in the day. Jets at pick 8. This is where I would have loved to have Mason Graham or Will Johnson. Both of those guys being off the board does make this pick a little bit harder. I don't think they need edge, so I wouldn't go Abdul Carter. Malachi Starks is somebody that I do like the fit of being there. This pick does get pretty difficult, though. I feel like if I'm the Jets, I would trade out of the spot, but I'm not going to be doing trades in this. But I would 110% trade out of this pick if I'm the Jets, unless they really want Malachi Starks, but I don't think they do. You're not going to go quarterback this high. No tight end is worth taking this high. No D lineman's worth taking this high, in my opinion. And, there's not even really a corner. You could You could argue Ben Morrison. I highly doubt that it ends up being worth it. Yeah, so I think we are just going to go with Malachi Starks and take the most talented player on the board here. He is incredible. They do need safety, and he is coming off of some rough weeks. So ordinarily, I would have Malachi Starks falling a little bit just because he has not looked like the top 10 player that I said that he would be. But I'm gonna give him a little bit of patience. We'll see how the playoffs goes, and maybe my opinions will go back to what they were before. Bears here at pick 9. I mean, Abdul Carter being on the board is incredible. It's really a difficult decision for me between Abdul Carter and Will Campbell, because Will Campbell could just be the best offensive lineman in this class if you move him to guard. So do we take a guard, or do we take a potential edge 1? I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go with Abdul Carter today. I think if he's on the board, you kind of have to take him. Pair him with Montez Sweat. I know who is on that team who's played pretty well. I forgot what his name is. Is it Darrell Taylor? I think it's Darrell Taylor. He's played pretty well, but that just doesn't stop me from taking somebody like Abdul Carter. Pick number 10 here. I think if Will Campbell's on the board, you definitely just go with them for the Saints. I mean, that's an insane pick, by the way. If he falls to the Saints, I would be pretty happy for them, honestly. He could play at tackle. You have Ryan Ramczyk still, so you don't really need to stress about him playing tackle. Because you could always move him to left tackle, Talise Fuaga back to right tackle, which is his natural position, if Ramczyk doesn't end up staying. But I think short term, at least, he's a guard. And I think that's a position that they could use an upgrade at. Dolphins here at pick 11. I want to go interior for them because Malachi Starks is off the board. That's my usual pick. But Kelvin Banks is here. And I think just going with Kelvin Banks, best tackle on the board, no-brainer pick for me, honestly. Colts here pick 12. This is another spot where I usually go with somebody like Malachi Starks, but because he is off the board, that's no longer an option. I do think edge is another position that they do need to look at, though, because Liatu Latu is amazing. However, Kwity Paye is more of a run stopper, and I feel like getting somebody else who can really be a good pass rusher for them would be incredible for this team. So for that reason, I'm going to go with James Pierce. I think I'm higher on him than the consensus is. He's played really, really well this season, to be honest. Sadly, I can't really see his grades because I don't have PFF Plus. Might eventually get that at some point, and I can only see a couple of his best games, but I mean, he's been incredible this season. 8 sacks on the year. Doesn't really show the pass rush win rate, sadly, which I believe is around 20%, if I could be wrong. That's what it was the last time that I checked. But yeah, James Pierce is incredible. Could be a great pass rusher and actually put real pressure on the quarterback, which the Colts defense desperately needs. Bengals at 13, they also need defense. However, I mean, if Tenero McMillan are on the board, I would say that's your T. Higgins replacement right there. But that's just not the case, obviously. I think we're going to go with Nick Scorton. I don't know if it's Scorton or Scourton. I'm just going to say Scorton for now. But yeah, just another edge, either to play opposite of Trey Hendrickson or to replace him. I've recently seen Jalen Walker as a pick to them. I don't really like that fit, to be honest. So I'm going to leave it. But yeah, we're going to go to the Cowboys here. And I'm going to do something very interesting. But after watching tape, I believe that Amarian Hampton should be a first-round pick. Now, hear me out on this, right? Ashton Jeanty is off the board. We have seen this exact same thing happen last year where Bijan Robinson was off the board for the Lions. And honestly, I believe the Lions actually had pick 6 in that draft and the Falcons were at pick 7 or pick 8, whatever the case may have been. They actually said they wanted Jahmyr Gibbs at 6, but they traded down because they knew he would still be there. Getting Amarian Hampton at 14 is not bad value at all. I think Amarian Hampton has actually proved that he is worth a first-round pick this year. He's been incredible, and this is coming from me, and last year, if you would ask me this, I was not an Amarian Hampton fan at all. But after watching a lot of his tape this year, I mean, it's undeniable that he is a first-round talent. So I'm going to give him that respect, and I'm going to put him all the way up at pick 14, which might seem high, but I believe the NFL is valuing running backs a little bit more than they have in the past now. I mean, just looking at it with, like I said, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, who else has gone high in recent memory? Like Najee Harris a couple years ago in that class. Like, running backs are not an invaluable position. And on top of that, like, the value of getting a running back for their entire prime, if you pick up that fifth-year option, that's valuable. That's just you have a running back through their entire prime on a rookie contract. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world to me. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I felt like I needed to explain that, because I don't know who is on the Amari and Hampton train, if this is just a me thing. Who knows? What is this team's name? The 49ers at 15. Shout out Deebo Samuel. He needs to get the ball more. I want to take his replacement so bad. I want to take Luther Burden, because that would be your Deebo replacement, but I mean, that's just not going to happen. In all realism, I'm probably going to go tackle or corner. If I were to go corner, I would probably go Siobhan Revel. But we are going to go tackle here. We are going to go either Arianti Ursary or Josh Simmons. It's kind of difficult for me to choose. I'm going to go with Arianti Ursary, because I haven't shown him a lot of love. And I really like his fit with the 49ers. He's been incredible this year. And he's really shown that, like, he is going to end up sticking at tackle. And I think he can develop. The 49ers are great with this kind of thing. Yeah, I have really high hopes for him. Falcons at 16, they've played terribly. Specifically, Kirk Cousins has played terribly. That Michael Penix pick is not looking so bad after all. If you watch that draft live stream with me, yeah, I had quite the reaction to that. I'm not going to lie. This team needs edge, though. I feel like Mikael Williams would be the pick. I could have gone with him at 13, because I think his tools are going to give him that Trayvon Walker kind of rise. But we're going to keep the Georgia guy in Atlanta. Or keep the Georgia guy in Georgia. Send him to the Atlanta Falcons. Pick 17 for the Cardinals. I've been going interior D-line for them for the longest time. Very disappointing news that somebody who I don't think is on this website, but somebody that I like, Caleb Banks, ended up returning to school. Seems like this board has actually been updated. It was like Omar Norman Lott's really high. TJ Sanders is really high. Alfred Collins is really high. A lot of guys that I really like. Yeah. So I would consider Derek Harmon here. I would consider Omar Norman Lott here, who I want to show some love to. He's been incredible for Tennessee. But I just don't think he's played that much, if I'm not wrong. I don't think he was a starter for them. Walter Nolan, you guys know I absolutely adore him. I think I am going to go with Walter Nolan, though. Just the flashes of dominance, man. It really has shown on tape. And, yeah, I've been saying this for years. I think people are probably sick of it by now. But I really think he has NFL D-Tackle 1 potential, which not many people in this class have. It would really be him in long-term Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham is going to start off as a high-end 2 and eventually develop into a pretty solid 1 option. But I think Walter Nolan could be better. Seattle at pick 18 here. This is interesting. I want to push Jalen Walker higher, but he's just not going to make it there. This does become difficult because they need tackle. Am I going to push Josh Simmons or Cam Williams this high? I would go Jonas Savaiinaea just because he has tackle and guard flexibility, like, off the rip. I just don't know if we go with him at 18, but I feel like that would be a very Seahawks pick to take somebody who might not be a first round pick in the first round. So, you know, we're going to go with Jonas Savaiinaea. I just think the fit is really good to this team. I've seen Bengal make this pick quite a couple times, and I really agree with it. I just think that tackle guard flexibility is very, very valuable for a team that just needs stability on the offensive line, and getting somebody with that level of versatility so that he can start at guard in the short term, and if Abraham Lucas can miraculously figure out his health issues, he can stay there, or if you need to replace him, Jonah's right there. Chargers at pick 19. I think the easy answer here is just getting Jim Harbaugh's guy, Colson Loveland. Get Justin Herbert some more weapons, please, because that team, Justin Herbert's really not gotten a lot of respect for, like, the carry job that he's doing for that team right now. I mean, I think their defense is pretty good as well, but, I mean, Herbert has no weapons. He has to deal with throwing to Quentin Johnston every week. Please help this man. Buccaneers at pick 20. I'm going to go with Jalen Walker. I've been making this pick for ages. I think the Buccaneers might be out of the range to get him now. I just don't love the fit to any of these teams. Like, I've seen the Bengals before. I don't really love that fit, to be honest. So yeah, I would say that I would probably... I think my dream fit is either Atlanta. You could convince me for the Cardinals or the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers is like my favorite team though. LA here at 21. They're another team that could use tackle. I think with Josh Simmons on the board, I think it's a no-brainer. What's his name? Jesus. Who is their left tackle right now? Rob Havenstein's the right tackle. His face is in my head. Alaric Jackson, thank you. Thank you, me. I don't know who I'm thinking. But Alaric Jackson, he's your left tackle. I think he's a free agent this year. And also, is he really the guy that you really desperately want playing left tackle? Like, he's fine, but you could upgrade. I think Josh Simmons has Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl doesn't really mean anything anymore because that's a joke. But all pro tackle play isn't somewhere in there with Josh Simmons. Just got to figure out the injury stuff. Washington at pick 22. I'm going to continue to make this Siobhan Revel pick. I think it's a really, really good fit. You obviously cut Emmanuel Forbes. Benjamin St-Juste is fine. I don't know if he's up for a contract this year. I don't think he is. But either way, you could always upgrade. Corner's a room that's very volatile, so you can always just use more guys. And I think Siobhan Revel could also just use a year coming off of his injury, like to just relax, not have to stress about being a corner one right away. I mean, he wouldn't have to be for this team. You have Marshawn Lattimore. But just, yeah, ease him back into playing into the NFL, coming off of a torn ACL. Pick 23 here for the Denver Broncos. We're going to make everybody's favorite pick here in the draft. It's going to be Tyler Warren. I've said this before. This is basically just, what if Taysom Hill is actually a good tight end? This is the Michael Jordan of Taysom. This is the Tom Brady. No, wait, what is it? What is like the Pokemon evolution joke thing where it's just like he's the Rob Gronkowski of Taysom Hills? Yeah, that's what he is. He is the best. He is the absolute best version of Taysom Hill that you'll ever find, and I think Sean Payton especially will love and appreciate that. Baltimore here at 24. The tackle value is still here with Cam Williams. However, do we want to go with that, or do we want to go with a corner? Because there are a lot of corners in this class that I actually like. You would be surprised. I like Azariah Thomas. I like Dalen Everett. I like Jacob Parrish. Hey, shout out J-Rock. If you guys don't know who Jalen Smith is, he was on Coach Snoop, the Snoop Dogg's like youth football team, and they did a Netflix show on it, and he was like my favorite character when he was like 12. Either way, that's random. Ben Morrison's another good pick. Jedi Barron, I don't know if I would give him to the Ravens, but Jedi Barron's a great player. Trey Amos, I haven't done much research on, to be honest. I do need to learn a little bit more about him. He's probably going to go in this draft, but I just don't know where, because I don't really know where to fit him. But I've heard that a lot of people think he's a good player. Pretty solid size there as well. But yeah, it's either corner or it's offensive line for the Ravens. So I think the tackle, yeah, I think Cam Williams being on the board just makes me want to go with him. What's his name? Roger Rosengarten's played fine, but Ronnie Stanley might need to be replaced. He's played amazing this year, by the way, but just the injuries, the inconsistencies, yeah, it could be a problem. However, Cam Williams could just start at guard short term if you do end up re-signing Ronnie Stanley, and then just developing Cam Williams, and he just plays tackle when needed. So, who knows? Pick 25 here. Houston Texans. I'm going to go with... Do we show some love to Omar Norman-Lott here in the first round? I haven't really been able to do that. The pick ordinarily would be Derek Harmon. I don't know if he comes out this year, to be honest. I don't think he's declared yet. Kenneth Grant's the easy pick. I'm going to show some love to Omar Norman-Lott here. Great pick out of Tennessee, honestly. I think he deserves to get some first-round buzz. He'll probably be a solid day 2 pick, if I had to guess. I don't know if he's going to have the buzz to go round 1, but I want to show some love to a player that I think is really talented. Steelers at 26. Sadly, Drew Allard decided to stay at school, so that pick is not here. You could go with Jalen Milroe. I don't know if I'm doing that in the first round anymore, to be honest. Quinn Ewers probably comes out reluctantly. Not really sure. Yeah, this pick gets really hard for the Steelers. I think, man, Luther Burden's fallen so far. The problem is, I just don't know where to put Luther Burden. Like, I probably could have given him to the Chargers just because. And yeah, there's just not a lot of teams that are going to need Luther Burden. I do think that because I personally think that he is a slot receiver, I think that I'm probably going to go Emeka just because I think I have more faith in him playing on the outside. Man, I don't even know where else I would go with this team, though. Shout out to Jahad Campbell. He should be a first-round player. I just wouldn't go with him here. This is hard. There's no tackles that I want. The tackles are gone. Yeah, it really would be a wide receiver. And I feel like Emeka is probably the pick. Is it Emeka? Do we go Luther Burden? I don't know. This is difficult. Because where else am I going to put Luther Burden? The Vikings are interesting, but the problem with the Vikings is Justin Jefferson does operate out of the slot a lot of the time. We'll go Luther Burden just strictly off of the talent. I think he's a slot-only guy. Calvin Austin's fine, which makes me just it's Calvin Austin at the end of the day. He's a solid player. Wouldn't stop me from taking Luther Burden, though. And also, Roman Wilson's going to come back and probably play in the slot for them. So, I don't know if I love this pick, to be honest. Talent-wise, yes. It really just comes down to, can Luther Burden play on the outside? So, we'll see. Packers here at pick 27. I've been giving them corner for the longest time. I feel like Ben Morrison being on the board is just criminal. I want to show some love to Jedi Barron, though. And I think I will. I'm going to give them Jedi Barron. He fits their scheme pretty well. They run a pretty zone-heavy scheme, and I think that's where Jedi Barron's going to shine in the NFL. The other pick would have been, the Bills. I don't really think they need corner, though, but just because. But Jedi Barron's a really, really talented player. I think he's great. He won DB of the Year, the Thorpe Award, which Travis Hunter probably should have won, or at least been nominated for, but Jedi Barron deserves all the respect in the world. Transitioning from safety, he's really shown that he can play boundary corner at a high level. Vikings here at 28, so usually this would be the Amari and Hampton spot, because Aaron Jones could be cooked. You could go Caleb Johnson. I don't think I'm going to see 3 running backs in the first round. And I think Caleb Johnson, while he's amazing, I think more of a second-round pick to me. So I think for the Vikings, I think corner is definitely in play here. You had Byron Murphy. I don't know who else is on that team, really. It's Byron Murphy, and Mekhi Blackman's coming off of a torn ACL. Stephon Gilmore's there, so yeah. To me, this is between Azariah Thomas and Benjamin Morrison. I think the talent of Ben Morrison is going to make me go with him, though. He's incredible. He just needs to not be hurt. That's really all it is. I hinted at this a little bit earlier, but Bills here at 29. I'm going to go with Jahad Campbell. I think he's a first-round worthy linebacker. He's been incredible at Alabama, and I think that he's another player that I'm just I really want to see you go in the first round, because I think he's going to be a great fit for the Bills, but also just somebody who deserves this kind of attention. Pick 30 for the Eagles. Now, I'm actually going to make a pick that I took back in my last mock draft, because I was arguing with somebody in the comments about this, and I gave the Eagles LT Overton. Now, I don't know what made me take back this pick, because I knew the reason that I did it, but I think just on top of me being sick and kind of tripping out a little bit, not really thinking, LT Overton is a great fit for the Eagles, so I'm gonna make this pick again. Given who's on the board, I just don't really see any better fits than this. LT Overton's a great fit to just play the Josh Sweat role. Josh Sweat's going to be up for a contract, and the argument that the other person had is that he doesn't fit the scheme because he's huge. Yes, LT Overton is huge. He's 6'5", 283. But Josh Sweat is also very, very big as well, and in their scheme, he does play outside linebacker. LT Overton can do the same thing. While you might think that because he is huge at 283, he actually is pretty solid in coverage, and he's shown that at Alabama. You wouldn't be dropping him every single play, obviously he's an edge rusher, but I do think that he can still play in coverage when needed. He's a very good athlete for his size. Let's not take that for granted. So I am going to stick with that LT Overton pick just because I think it's what they need. Lions here at 31. I feel so bad for the Lions because this was really their Super Bowl window and their entire team is just gone. Everybody's getting hurt. David Montgomery might be out for the year. Lee McNeil's out for the year. Carlton Davis is out for the year. All in the span of one game. So I really do feel bad for them. But it is what it is, man. We could go guard for them. I think edge probably is the better pick, but who? Like, Jack Sawyer I don't think goes this high. Shamar Stewart's interesting. I don't really know if he fits the profile, though. Like, JT Tuimoloau would be the guy that I would probably think of. You guys know I'm not the biggest JT fan. Other than that, it would be guard. Tyler Booker has not played great this year, so I don't think he's a first-round guy for me anymore. To me, it probably does end up being edge. Like, center, I know Parker Brailsford did say he's going back to school, sadly. Jake Slaughter's probably my next center on the board, but I wouldn't take him this high. So it probably does end up being edge. And if that's the case, man, like, do we go Shamar Stewart? I just don't know if he fits the profile that they're going to be looking for. Like, he's more of a flex. I don't know if he sticks at edge. Princely Umamulin is somebody who's interesting to me. But you know what? I am going to show some love to JT Tuimoloau, I think. He's played better this year, and he's shown that he should be a first-round pick. Chiefs at 32. I'm not going to let Emeka slip. Not too much to say here. I think he's a really good compliment as well to what they have. Like, Xavier Worthy and Emeka on the outside. Rashee Rice could probably flex inside and outside. I really like that team, by the way. Same thing with Emeka. You could flex inside and outside, I think. The Giants here pick 33. I would love to give them tackle, and usually I go Cam Williams, but I ended up putting him in the first round of the Ravens, so that's not going to happen. The other options I would say would be receiver, like an Alec Aomanor. Savion Williams is solid. Don't know if I would go with him. I do like Jaden Higgins. I honestly don't think Isaiah Bond comes out this year. He's had a really disappointing season. And then he had an injury on top of that. Like, I think Isaiah Bond might stay at school and just play with Arch Manning next year. But I think the Giants would probably just go corner, if that's the case. Trey Amos is good. Darian Porter is somebody that I would probably show some love to. 6'4", 200, might run one of the fastest 40-yard dashes in the country. I think I am going to show some love to Darian Porter. Just another super athlete. I think that the Giants would probably like that to pair with Deonte Banks, who's already a super athlete himself. So yeah, I think that's as good of a pick as we can make given the situation. Raiders here at 34. Got your quarterback as well. I think a running back could also be interesting for them. Caleb Johnson's on the board. But I think this team needs receiver, so I'm going to give them Alec Aomanor. They have nobody on the team. It's Jacoby Myers, it's maybe Trey Tucker, and that's kind of it. So, give them another boundary guy who's just incredible in his own right. Patriots, we also... I mean, they do need tackle, and I do like some of the tackles here. Like, I would go Blake Miller. I would definitely go Josh Conerly. Like, honestly, I could have gone Josh Conerly to the Giants, and I would have been very happy with that. Jack Nelson's another one who I think could go pretty high. I'm going to go Josh Conerly, though, I think. Yeah, we're going to go Josh Conerly. I think he's definitely the best tackle left on the board. His high-end reps are some of the best in the country. Like, when he is on, he is one of the best tackles, clearly, in college football. Jaguars here at 36. They could also use tackle, but I think given the fact that we didn't go Travis Hunter, they could also still use receiver. I don't really know who that would be, though, just given the fact that, like, sadly, Isaiah Bond is probably not that guy anymore. I just don't really love these second-round receivers. Like, Jalen Royals is a good guy. I don't know. I'm just not really super high on anybody here. Do you have Evan Stewart coming back? No, Evan Stewart's all the way down here. Wow. Either way. I would probably go tackle for them. They need a left tackle most likely. I don't know what the Walker Little situation is, if he's going to get re-signed to be the guy. But they could use a left tackle. I'm going to go Armand Membu. Somebody who could have gone in the first round, honestly. But he's played really, really well for Mizzou. And I think he deserves some respect. Honestly, could have gone like low end round 1. But I think round 2 is a very, very solid spot for him. Tennessee here at 38. Or sorry, no, I skipped a whole pick. Bears here at 37. So what did we do for them in the first round? I believe we went edge, right? Yeah, we went Abdul Carter. So this would be like a guard spot for me. And I think with Tyler Booker on the board, no hesitation, I would go with him. Tennessee Titans here at 38. We went receiver for Tedero McMillan. They could also use tackle, man. They have their left tackle. Johnny Cornelius could be your right. Not going to go Emory Jones here. Man, this is tough. Wyatt Milam's another one who was like, does he play tackle? Probably transitions to guard. So I'm not really sure about that. Trying to think of what other positions I could address with them. Like, I've just had a huge run on tackles. Man, this is difficult. I mean, Kenneth Grant, but he's just not going to be... This team could actually use edge, low-key. I think this team should get an edge. Right now, their edges are like Harold Landry and Arden Key. So I think getting somebody better than that could be very beneficial for them. And I think Mike Green's somebody that I would look at. I also want edge rushers, not like D linemen. Like Princely, Ashton Jalote is somebody who's to me. Kamen Rucker is somebody that I like a lot. You know, we're going to go Kamen Rucker. I really like Kamen Rucker at UNC. I think he's a good fit for this team as well. Browns at 39. I'm going to take probably Jalen Milroe off the board. I mean, there's no other quarterbacks after Milroe. After that, I wouldn't take any of these guys in day 2, besides maybe Ewers, and you're really pushing it with Ewers. Ewers would be like an end of the second round, probably third round guy for me. So, yeah, man, this quarterback class is cooked. That's the easy way to put this. So yeah, long story short, we're going Jalen Milroe, which really sucks for the Jets, by the way, because I mean that's probably what they would have wanted here in the second round. You probably just wait till round 3 and grab Ewers, but it's fine. They can go with defensive interior, and you missed out on Mason Graham, but it's okay. You can grab his teammate Kenneth Grant here. Really slipping, honestly. Pick 40 is really low for him. I just couldn't really find anywhere to put him up here. Like, after Omar Norman, you could switch him and Omar, and that would be fine, honestly. But I just wanted to show him some love. He realistically probably goes day 2 anyways, but I just want to show him a little bit of love. Bears back here at 41. So we want Tyler Booker. Do we get, like, a Wyatt Milam? Do we get a tackle? Donovan Jackson? Blake Miller? I don't know. I mean, first round we went edge. We kind of already handled that. I think getting somebody next to, what's his name? Gervon Dexter could be really helpful. And I think with Derek Harmon on the board, it's Derek Harmon or Talik Williams. It's one of those two. I think we're going to go Derek Harmon, just because I think Gervon Dexter is going to be the run stopper. I think Derek Harmon can really throw some more pressure at the QB. So I think I like that pick a lot. Saints here at 42. We went Will Campbell first round. This team needs edge. This is interesting. I don't really know what edges would work well for them. Man, Shamar Stewart's somebody I want to go a lot higher. I just don't know what to think of him because he's a very specific kind of edge where he needs to be a 4-3 defensive end, right? So, I mean, Landon Jackson's interesting. I think Princely Umamu-Ellen's probably the play. Yeah, we're going to go Princely Umamu-Ellen for the Saints here. Dolphins at 43. We went Kelvin Banks first round. I feel like interior for them would also be pretty good. I would either go Tyleik Williams or TJ Sanders. We're going to go Tyleik Williams here. Great pick. Colts here at 44. I was very surprised to see Kevin Winston declare. I really didn't think that he would. I don't know if he should have. But I'm going to go with Nicky Monwari here. He is currently my safety 2. He's been incredible this year. Kevin Winston's going to probably drop to a safety 3 or 4 for me. I really like Xavier Watts as well. He might even drop to like 5 because I love Layden Ransom as well. I think he's a day 2 guy. But Kevin Winston just has injury problems. Just had a down year because he didn't really play. Like, I was genuinely surprised that he didn't return to school for another year. But it is what it is. Bengals here at 45. I'm going to go with Caleb Johnson. I think giving them a running back could be very helpful. I know they need defense, but we addressed that in the first round, right? Yeah, we got them next Scourton. So, Caleb Johnson just to help that running offense. I mean, incredible player. Dallas here at 46. This is going to be my Shamar Stewart spot. I know they might not need him because I know they drafted Marshawn Kneeland. I like the fit with Shamar Stewart. There's probably other positions that we could have gone with, but I think that in terms of fit, Shamar Stewart is an incredible fit to the Cowboys. You can flex inside, outside. I feel like DeMarcus Lawrence kind of plays a role that Shamar Stewart could work in. So I actually really want to see that. 49ers here at 47. We got them offensive line in the first round. I think we're going to go corner here in the second round. I think I'm going to go Azariah Thomas. Well, actually, no, they play more off. They don't play press man, really, do they? Because Azariah Thomas is very much a press man corner. Maybe Trey Amos. I just don't know too much about him, to be honest. Yeah, thank you. They really, really help with this analysis here, man. Yeah, I just don't really know too much about Trey Amos, so it's going to be really hard for me to make a educated pick. I'm going to give him to the 49ers just because I'm sure they could make it work, but my apologies for not really knowing too much about his game, but he's somebody that I know people are higher on. I just haven't gotten to him yet, personally. Falcons here at 48. We got them, I believe, Mikael Williams in the first. They could use linebacker here. I just don't know if there's a guy that I'm going to go with this high. Like, Deontay Lawson, sadly, is out for the season. That really sucks. Harold Perkins, I hope he returns to school. I would be so upset if he came out this year because his draft stock might be cooked. D lineman, do we go with an interior? I don't know. I feel like this team could use, man, they don't need safety. They could really use another edge rusher, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe corner. Because you have AJ Terrell. Clark Phillips is probably a slot. And then who do you have outside of that? Nobody? I mean, this is another team that's not really a press man team. Dalen Everett's interesting. Melo Dotson's so good. He and Kobe Bryant are both really, really good players. I'm surprised Kobe Bryant's not higher. Davis Igbinosun. Jabbar Muhammad. These are all very, very good players. Definitely should be a corner, though. This is difficult. I really don't know where to go for them. Because the Falcons don't really play press man, I don't think. I don't watch a lot of Falcons games, to be honest. I don't think that they play a lot of press man. But, you know, in terms of talent, I am going to go with Azariah Thomas because he's a very, very good player. So, that's the deciding factor for me. I think he's a very, very good player. Cardinals here at 49. We went D-line for them already. We got them Walter Nolan. So another edge could be good. I just don't think that they go edge. This is interesting. I think, where else could they go with? They could definitely use O-line. They could definitely use corner too. This should have been where I put Azariah Thomas, but it is what it is. I'm going to show love to probably Davison Igbinosun, maybe. I don't know. This is a difficult pick for me. I feel like their offense is pretty much figured out. Like, you could maybe go tackle for them. Just somebody opposite of Paris Johnson. You could also go guard for them, but I feel like their offense is set. I feel like it's really defense that needs it. So yeah, let's look corner. And do I show love to Mello Dotson this high? Zy Alexander, I think, is gonna be a safety. Dalen Everett, another good player. I think I'm thinking of Jabbar Muhammad or Davison Igbinosun, because I think those are guys who should honestly be way higher than 249 and 205 on boards. Kobe Bryant as well. Let's go Davison Igbinosun, because I think he's a very, very good player as well. Pick 50 here for the Seahawks. We went Jonas Savania in the first round. They could use linebacker. I don't love this linebacker class, to be completely honest with you guys. That's really the only reason that you've only seen one with Jahad Campbell. Deontay Lawson would have been another one, but out for the year. I mean, O-line's still a thing. I feel like this team just doesn't really need a lot. Maybe no, but you have Byron Murphy. It really would be linebacker, honestly. Barrett Carter is somebody that I like. I just don't know if I would go with him this high. Jeffrey Bossa, Chris Paul Jr., guys that I know of, but haven't really done too much research on. I'm going to show love to Deontay Lawson. I know the injury is a thing, and that might push him down, but I know he's a very talented player, so we're going to go with Deontay Lawson top 50. Chargers at 51 here. I mean, if they didn't get Colson Loveland, I would have just definitely gone Harold Fannin here. But I think we're going to go D-line, since a lot of these guys are still on the board. We're going to go Deion Walker. Somebody who, honestly, another guy who I think should have returned to school, to be honest, but he came out, and we're going to see how his draft stock is affected, because he had a down year for sure. Buccaneers at 22 or 52. What? 22? Corner for them could definitely be an option. Trying to think who I like for them as well. If any of these guys, like Mello Dotson, maybe. I'm trying to think of the type of corner they like Jamel Dean. I don't really think they need corner. Like, unless you're looking to replace Jamel Dean now, which I don't know what his contract is looking like, so maybe you do need to. But I know that Zion McCollum had a breakout year. I'm so excited to do my revisited to my breakout list, because I was right about so many people and also horribly wrong. So it's pretty funny, honestly. And that video is going to be a roller coaster to review. We'll do that at the end of the season, though. But, maybe we go tight end, because they do... What's his name is solid, but Harold Fannin Jr. is a monster. So let's go with Harold Fannin. I want to show him some love. Panthers here at 53. I've kind of had this pick mapped out in my head since I made the Mason Graham pick. We're going to go Mike Green out of Marshall. Small school guy, but he's one of my favorite edge rushers in this class. He's been incredible this year. He had 17 sacks for Marshall. If you think that he's only played against bums, go check his Ohio State game and come back to me. Washington at 54. We went corner in the first round. Could probably go tackle here. Probably go Jack Nelson. Do they need a left tackle or a right tackle? I'm trying to think, because they drafted, what's his name? I don't remember where he plays, though. They drafted Coleman. What's his name? I think we'll go Blake Miller. I think tackle, just protecting Jaden Daniels, is very, very valuable. So, just go with that. Broncos here at 55. Do they need a wide receiver? Really? I don't know if I agree with that. Tackle, I saw that they inked up what's his name to a new deal, so that's pretty much solved. D-line. What does their D-line look like? Do they need edge rusher? I believe they traded Baron Browning, so you know what? Maybe we go with edge for them. I like Landon Jackson. I'm gonna go Jack Sawyer. I think Jack Sawyer is a really good player. Somebody who just needs a little bit more respect. Played really, really well for Ohio State, though. He's just been a very solid player. Ravens here at 56. Didn't go corner in the first round. Kind of coming back to bite us now, because I feel like this corner class is just kind of washed at this point. Oh, this is so difficult. Do we go corner for them? Maybe not. I mean, this is not looking great. Like, Jacob Parrish, maybe? I just don't think he's the kind of build that they're looking for. Maybe it's Mello Dotson. You know, let's show some love to Mello Dotson. He's a really good player. So we'll go with him to the Ravens here, 56. 57, Texans, we went Omar Norman Lott in the first round. Maybe get them a guard here. Tate Ratledge is definitely a very, very good player. That's a thought. Could go running back, depending on what you think of Joe Mixon and his long-term health. Could also go receiver, honestly. Stephon Diggs probably doesn't return. Nico Collins and Tank Dell both are like healthy scratches each year. Do you go with the Jaden Higgins? I don't know. Do you go with the Jalen Royals? I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of receivers go. I don't love this receiver class, to be honest. That's really the problem. Yeah, it is what it is. I think I'm going to go Tate Ratledge, though. They just need offensive line. Protect CJ Stroud at all costs. Steelers, we went Luther Burden first round. Didn't love that pick, but it is what it is. Tackles that are left, we're going to go Jack Nelson. It's a great pick. Dan Moore is solid. Don't know if he ends up coming back in free agency. And Broderick Jones is looking like a bust. And Troy Fautanu is looking like a great pick. So Jack Nelson to go play left tackle, Troy Fautanu at right. I think you're pretty set. 59 for the Packers. We went with, I believe, Ben Morrison. No, we went Jedi Barron first round. Yeah, that was a pick. I think we can go D lineman for them. I do want to show some love to TJ Sanders. I don't know if he's the kind of guy that they would look for, because he is a little bit undersized. What is Kenny Clark's build? I actually really, what is Kenny Clark's build? Because I'm trying to think. He would just end up replacing Kenny Clark, who's clearly on a downward spiral. Not the same player that he used to be, sadly. He's like 300 pounds, I think. I mean, TJ Sanders isn't that undersized. He's 290. So you can definitely play the position well. Also think about like Alfred Collins, another guy who's really, really good, 320. He might be the better fit. Ooh, DeMonte Capehart. That's the guy, man. He deserves so much love. DeMonte Capehart is an incredible player. I think he's going to be a firm day 2 prospect. DeMonte Capehart is incredible. Go watch him at Clemson. He is very, very good. He does not have a lot of reps, but when he does play, oh my god. Dude, the D linemen in this class are very, very underrated. Buffalo at 60. We went with Jahad Campbell first round. We're going to go edge here in the second. Somebody opposite of Greg Rousseau. Maybe Donovan Izirawaku. A little bit light, maybe. But actually, no. I like Donovan Izirawaku. Yeah, we'll go with him. And then they have back-to-back picks here at 61. What do we go for with them? Maybe receiver? I just don't know if I love any of these guys. I mean, you have Keon Coleman. You have Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Amari Cooper. So maybe you don't go receiver. I don't think they go running back. Goal line's fine. Man, this gets difficult. Because we went linebacker, we went edge. Do they need safety? Not looking to replace Damar Hamlin, but Lathan Ransom, great guy in the box. Kevin Winston, Xavier Watts. Maybe a corner for them would be good. I mean, Zy Alexander would be a good fit for them. Denzel Burke, but I don't know if he goes day 2 anymore. Maybe Zy Alexander. We're going to go Zy Alexander. I think he's going to be a good fit. If he wants to stay at corner, I think Buffalo will be the best team for him to do that. Pick 62 here for the Eagles. They went LT Overton in the first round. I'm going to have them go with Jaden Roberts. Send him to Stout University. Jeff Stoutland's one of the best at developing offensive linemen. I think Jaden Roberts has the athleticism to either play guard or tackle. He's 6'5", so he could play tackle. And it is also noted that he is one of the strongest players on Alabama's entire team. So he just has all the tools of a great offensive lineman, and obviously, yeah, he's somebody who deserves to go in the second round. Just has all the tools. Lions at 63. We went JT Tuimoloau in the first round. I guess this is probably the spot where we go like guard. I just don't really love any of these guys. Like Jordan Monheim is fine. Any tackles? Wyatt Milam. There you go. Grab Wyatt Milam. He's gonna go play guard for you. Chiefs at 64. Donovan Jackson. There we go. That's the draft. They just need somebody to replace Trey Smith. That's the answer. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this draft. That ended up probably almost being an hour-long video. It's going to be fun to edit later because I had to take some breaks a couple times. But I'm really, really happy with the results, honestly. We did this on the fly. I really love doing these like without like scripting them just because it makes me think, and you guys can hear my thought process as I like go through each pick. I'm going to get picks wrong. I mean, like the Trey Amos pick, I don't even know if that was a great pick. Could be a good fit, but I just haven't really done my research on him yet. But I will get to that soon. But yeah. Appreciate you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like and sub if you want to mess with the content. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.